Well, very much a big political story today. Is the Prime Minister's claim of success as far as the note ban is concerned justified? Is it correct? Joining us on the program tonight, Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP, Jay Panda, Lok Sabha MP of the BJD, Sushmita Dev of the Congress Party. She's also a Lok Sabha MP. Mihir Sharma, Associate Editor of the Business Standard, here with us in the studio. Mihir, let me ask you first about the PM speech. What really stuck out for you? Because what stuck out for me was the fact that he said that this isn't about elections for me, this is about the poor, this is about the country, at a time when we are in the middle of a very closely contested election in UP.
Well, I think that two things you can sort of take from that. And first is that he has really doubled down on this narrative of him having done this as some kind of sacrifice to clean the country up. You know, he linked it up almost explicitly to Swachh Bharat, that this is another way of cleaning up Bharat. And furthermore, that you shouldn't look for any other motive from it. He's not doing it for to get applause. He's not doing it in particular to get votes. And his only desire is, of course, to clean up the country. And I think that is the narrative he, over the course of an hour and a half, really tried to push home.
Well, let me take this to Jay Panda first. Jay, interesting that the Prime Minister also in the course of speaking for more than an hour on this didn't really give us specifics on, how this demonetization was a success, because it's been now, nearly 3 months. We still don't know how much money has come back into the system. We don't have specifics. We don't have statistics. Would you have liked to have heard a little more, in terms of what actually demonetization has achieved?
Well, I think right from the beginning, it has been discussed that the effects of demonetization will actually play out over the next 1 year at least, if not more. So I don't know how much specifics we can actually expect at this point. But clearly the narrative that he is trying to spell out, which Mihir has just talked about, it has some basis in reality, because it has largely been popular at the grassroots level, at least in my experience in my constituency and in some other places. Now, regarding the economic impact, we also know that it has had a negative impact on consumption, but many analysts such as Standard & Poor's and Moody's have said that the consumption drop would be temporary, and that seems to be borne out by the economic survey which was released just before the budget. It seems to show that the growth rate has not dropped very hugely. But all of this is tentative at this point. I think we'll have to wait and see what happens. There are other positives that could happen, such as what portion of the black economy or the informal economy actually comes into the net. Some of it has already happened. You can see the surge in government revenues. But I wouldn't want to give sort of a comprehensive position on the effects of demonetization until the final results are out over the course of the next fiscal year.
Well, you're waiting for the fiscal year. Sushmita Dev, the Congress seems to, however, think that the real impact of demonetization will be known during the course of these elections. How can you be so sure that it's not been a success, even though there are plenty of disgruntled voices as well?
Well, as far as we are concerned, the motive or the target behind demonetization was as set out by Prime Minister Modi himself. That was the fight against black money, corruption, terror, counterfeit notes. So going by the targets he set himself, I think it's fair to say that none of them have been achieved. I mean, are we saying that after 31st December all corruption has ended? We have seen that lots of cash money in the new currency has been recovered, and it's just a matter of time when terror is going to be back. So going by Prime Minister's own targets, I think it's a foregone conclusion that demonetization has cost us much more, and the benefits, whatever they are yet to be seen. So I think it's pretty straightforward, that answer.
Well, Mr. Sahasrabudhe, is the BJP a little concerned by the reports that are now emerging from Uttar Pradesh in particular, that there is a lot of anger about the way the note ban has played out, and that is manifesting itself now at this time when people are actually feeling the long-term impact of demonetization? Is there any concern about that at all?
Not at all. I mean, we are very confident that the people at the grassroots level have taken the demonetization exercise in a very positive way. In fact, they have wholeheartedly supported it, and it was their support which made the government sail through the difficult situations. Difficulties were there, which the Prime Minister also said that it was the first exercise of its kind after so many years, and therefore so many changes also had to be introduced in the rules and regulations, he admitted. But I am aghast by what our fellow Member of Parliament Sushmita said. She said that the terrorism is going to be bounced back again within a particular time frame. I mean, I just cannot expect this kind of a statement from her, as if her party is expecting terrorism to strike again.
I don't think that's what she quite meant. I think she's trying to question whether terrorism has actually ended as a result of this. But, you know, I just want to ask
why should she certify? Why should she certify?
Do you want to take that on, Sushmita, before I go back to Mr. Sahasrabudhe?
Can we get on with the arguments?
Okay, you don't want to answer that. But Mr. Sahasrabudhe, why don't we still know?
I am not going to fall.
Okay.
No, I do.
Yeah, okay. No, I just want to ask Mr.
I don't want to fall prey to his arguments that will deflect us from the main issue.
Which is why I want to ask Mr. Sahasrabudhe that why don't we still know how much money has actually come back into the system, Mr. Sahasrabudhe? If you want to measure the success of demonetization, that's a very critical figure. We still don't know.
See,
and even the Prime Minister didn't say anything about that.
See, the process is still on. Why are we not able to show some more patience? The impact of demonetization is not going to be limited only for a couple of months. It is going to be there at least for about a year or so. Let the Reserve Bank of India and all others in the Finance Ministry take a stock of the situation. They will come clean within a period of time. But can't we even give this much credit to the government that due to demonetization, whatever the informal economy that has been formalized, and now there is very little beneath the grounds, whatever was there has now traceable, and people can really bring it in the tax horizon. So I believe there need not be any doubt about that. Unnecessarily we are trying to hurry up with the things.
I have been trying to unsuccessfully ask various BJP spokespersons and party leaders over the last few weeks why we don't have the figures. Because we had them till the middle of December, and now the RBI has gone silent. Why don't we know how much money has come back into the system? It suddenly stopped. People should know whether the exercise succeeded.
Wait for some time, show some patience. Don't rush to draw conclusions.
I'm only asking because we were getting the figures till a certain point in December, and then they stopped.
You will get them in a due course of time. Why should we be hurrying it up? Let the RBI do its own business.
Okay, all right. You're saying the figures will come in due course. Shekhar Gupta is with us as well. Ila Patnaik, Dr. Ila Patnaik, senior economist, with us as well. But Shekhar, first on the political question, we were talking about that before you came in. The fact that the Prime Minister in the middle of this hectic election campaign is saying, for me, this isn't about elections, it's about the country. Do you think that despite what the BJP says on record, there is an element of nervousness about how this note ban will play out in the campaign?
Well, first of all, which leader would ever say this is about elections? But you also know that people who win elections and lose elections also do almost everything they do for elections. So that is just a platitude. I don't take that seriously, but I think there is some nervousness because after the initial euphoria, where all of us also sitting in Delhi concluded that this is an enormously popular thing. One, people have felt the pain, and pain is now continuing. People thought it will be over in 2 months or so. It is still continuing. And this is not the pain of not getting money from your ATM. It's the pain of losing your job, losing your daily wage. It's caused a great deal of damage there. And second, people really haven't seen the rich getting hurt by this. Looks like the rich have maneuvered or bought their way out of this. Nobody has seen a rich man queued up. It's just a thing to say, queued up at an ATM. So I think government has oversold this idea of destroying black money, fighting corruption, killing terrorism, etc., etc., etc. And if you tell people that this is larger purpose is also to go digital, I'm quite happy with digital and plastic economy. I almost never have any cash in my pocket, and I don't need it because I got plastic. But for most people, this doesn't have the oomph of an idea for which they should suffer for this long. So I think, and we saw this in Punjab. I haven't traveled in UP, so I don't know what's happening in UP. But in Punjab, in about 4.5 days of traveling, the only time we heard a voice in favor of demonetization was 3 first-time voters, young women, college students, supporters of Mr. Modi, who said that we do believe that in future there will be benefit, but right now there is trouble. Otherwise, for 4 days, particularly in rural audiences, there was a lot of anger in Punjabi, in colorful Punjabi. Why am I being made to queue up for my own?
You could repeat that colorful
I can't. Your ratings will go up.
They
but
will,
you know,
that's why I said so.
And I'll become very popular. But those are normal terms of endearment in Punjab. But basically, why am I being made to queue up for my own money? I sold my crop at $1,50,000. I go and get 10,000. It evaporates.
But Dr. Ila Patnaik, what Shekhar Gupta is saying that the idea of black money, of getting back black money, has been oversold by the government. Jay Panda, however, has a very different experience. He just said to us that from his experience, from where his travels in his state and his constituency, that the overwhelming response he believes there has been positive. Now that we've had time to look at what the impact of this announcement is, do you think people are now feeling the pinch, or are we still a little mixed up about how this is played out?
So I think that right from the beginning, the extent of cash dependence of the economy was underestimated.
Yeah.
That the extent to which people, even those who are in the formal sector, are going to get hit because there are links with the cash economy. Because somewhere in the chain, either workers are paid in cash, or transportation was done in cash, or some raw materials were bought in cash. So I think that the entire period, what has happened is that, while there may be political salience, or there may not be. So I'm no expert on that, and unlike Shekhar, I don't go visiting places where elections are held. But I think that from an economist's point of view, because India is such a large cash dependent economy, we should have been very, very careful before we withdrew 86% of the currency. And my sense is that rather than just the money you get at the ATM, the problem is that the economy has been hit.